Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. You know, um, this actual live was supposed to be dedicated to the Jay-Z situation. I had heard about Irv Gotti allegedly being on life support yesterday. Um, but I didn't want to talk about it because I was just like, I don't want to talk. There's been so much stuff going on since 2025, to be quite honest, 2024 also. But, I just said, I'm just going to send positive energy, prayers. Don't know if I necessarily want to talk about it because it's just a little just too sad to discuss. The man is 54 years old, but now it has been I wouldn't say confirmed yet, in my opinion. There have been several sources that are saying that he actually has passed. Okay. Allegedly, Irv Gotti has actually passed away and at only 54 years old. Now, from my understanding, he had a stroke, and after this last stroke, because apparently, allegedly, he had a stroke in 2024 as well. From my understanding, he even talked about it on his Instagram. Whack 100 even put his business out there before Irv Gotti allegedly could even put his business out there. And he confirmed that he was getting better. He was making life changes. For those who don't remember, or weren't old enough to remember, Irv Gotti used to be a big guy, as you can see from this picture right here with him and Ja Rule. I think he got bigger over time. I don't think he was like a hefty boy his whole life, but for a minute he was bigger. And from my understanding, he had diabetes. I don't know if it was type 1 or type 2, but he did have diabetes. And he lived a rock star life. I remember I watched his reality show, Gotti's Way, if I'm not mistaken. I watched that show. I think there was 2 seasons. I watched that show faithfully, and if I can be honest, Irv Gotti wasn't a favorite of mine, especially after the way that I saw that he treated his wife at the time, Deb Lorenzo, um, who truly, genuinely loved him. You could tell from that reality show, and he just treated her like garbage. He really was that guy who felt like, if I provide for you, that's all that matters. But protecting your heart and your feelings, nope, don't care. Mind you, his kids and the daughter that he adopted from Deb saw all of this. But, you know, and then of course how he treated Ashanti. Didn't like that either. So not my favorite person, but damn sure to pass at 54, if that is the case, is definitely earth shattering probably to a lot of people. He came from a big family. From my understanding, he was like the baby of a huge family, a lot of siblings. I was looking on his IG page, and apparently his father had recently passed, and I think his last post is a actual painting of him and his father, saying that he thinks about his father all the time. And I remember his parents were actually on that reality show. It's a sad situation, but one thing I will say, I can't deny that man had literally the early 2000s in a chokehold. He was just giving hit after hit after hit, from Ja Rule to Ashanti. He had his whole Inc., I'm going to say, or the Inc. that they changed it to. He had it on lock for a while, to the point where, like, I remember Ja Rule one year, literally, he literally performed at the Grammys like twice in that one year. I'm trying to find confirmation. Hopefully it's not true. Hey, Shayna. Yeah, I didn't want to post about it either, but when you're talking about the all hip hops and you're starting to get people on YouTube who do get credible sources, they're known to get credible sources talking about it. It's like, and again, if it just happened, because according to all hip hop, they are saying that sources are saying that he is, I guess what they're trying to say, he is, the brain is no longer functioning. I guess that's kind of the best way to say it, is that, they declared him unalived. Which means that could be, legally, the brain is no longer functioning, but they said it just happened this morning. So if it just happened this morning, my guess is the family is still trying to process it. And they don't want to say anything because but I do know that Deb, I checked out her page yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and she had a story on her page about praying. She actually put, let me see if I can find it. And that's when I said, okay, there's definitely something going on. But like yesterday, she put pray, and it says, until your situation changes, miracles happen every day. So don't stop believing in God's grace. So she said that. And that's why I also said, I'm not going to talk about it, because she's absolutely right. There have been a lot of people who have been declared certain things by doctors, and God created a miracle and they are fine. But a lot of these sources are coming out. And then that's when I said, when I was preparing for this live, I said, okay, maybe we need to talk about it at this point. Wow. Yeah. One thing I will say is that man did create a legacy. If he is gone, we can't deny that he created a legacy. And what's interesting is I was just defending this man. What, yesterday? When did I actually do that video? On 50 with the beef with Big Meech and loyalty. Of course, when he heard about him being on apparently life support, Irv Gotti leave it in 50 Cent fashion to troll the situation and pretty much say, oh, I wanted him to see my next show, or he said something of that nature. And I'm like, 50, sometimes you just got to give it a rest. Hey, Trina, sometimes you just got to give it a rest. And sometimes you have to understand, even your worst enemy, to even wish bad on them or to even say something like that, you're kind of putting that energy back on you. On my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish bad on them. And if they are doing bad, I don't get happy about it. I don't. You know what I mean? Because it's like, at the end of the day, I don't want that energy to come towards me. It's actually in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I don't want that type of karma in my world. But he did it. And so, at the end of the day, let some people tell it. They said that Irv crew tried to allegedly unalive 50. I don't know that to be the case. I know, of course, everybody knows the big beef between Ja Rule and 50 Cent. From my understanding, he has always looked at Supreme, like I said in my last video, allegedly trying to unalive him. I don't know if he feels like because Supreme was just affiliated with Irv, he just automatically took it as they were also trying to do it. But I don't remember that being the case. But I don't know. What I do know is that this man did create a legacy. It's a sad situation. If it is true, condolences and prayers to his family. I can't even imagine what they're going through, and especially Deb still loved that man. Now, from my understanding, I thought she was still married, because I know on the show she was finally saying that she did not want to live like that, still married to him, hoping that he will come back. She really wanted to like move on with her life. I think she officially got a divorce from him, which now, where does his legacy go? I know he has the kids, but I just felt like with everything that she went through, she should be the first point of contact to handle all of those matters. Hell, she went through a lot with that man, but from my understanding, they officially got a divorce, which is unfortunate. And his mother is still alive, and she's in her 90s, if I'm not mistaken. So, and he's the baby. From my understanding, if I remember correctly, he is the baby of the family. This has to be devastating for them. When you come from big families like that, usually the baby, especially with the older siblings, usually the older siblings look at the baby as their child too. So I'm sure this is just absolutely devastating to them. Hey, Southern Belle, you guys make sure you hit the like button. Yeah, 50, like I said, 50 Cent, I can't stand 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson to me Curtis Jackson is probably the guy with his grandmother and his grandfather. You know what I'm saying? I just, that 50 Cent though, there's just something about, I don't know what it is. Oh, wait, not the D word. I can't put the D word, Trina. My child's father passed of a stroke 4 years ago. He had uncontrolled high blood pressure. Yeah, it's real. And it really goes to show that we really need to focus on our health. The man had diabetes, and from my understanding, he kind of lived a reckless life and didn't listen for a very long time to his doctors. Allegedly, apparently, he kind of did what he wanted to do, even though the doctors told him to slow down. Okay. He definitely had that type of mentality. I'm going to do what the F I want to do. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, that's why his actual reality show was called Gotti's Way. So we have to just really start listening to our bodies, and we have to literally start taking care of ourselves, especially those in the Black and brown community. We get hit the hardest. And honestly, with Irv having the access that he had to so many, different, like avenues for health, like, top chefs that he could have had, definitely things to really take care of his body, and he just didn't. It just really goes to show that even people with money, like, they doesn't necessarily mean that they're mindful about their health, So if it's true, RIP, sir. I definitely enjoyed your music in the early 2000s as a producer. You did your thing. You definitely did your thing. I'm sure Ja Rule is devastated beyond repair. They were inseparable, knew each other since, they're both from Queens. I've come to realize even more and more, especially on these YouTube streets. I just feel like imagine what 50, Ja Rule, and Irv Gotti would have done if they just joined forces instead of beefing. All of them from Queens. All of them made huge impact back to back around that time. Imagine if they had joined forces. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, we can never get our ish together and really create. And I'm sure there's other forces who make sure that we don't ever come together. But the fact that we just never want to come together, there's always has to be a beef, who's better than the other. It's ridiculous. They could have literally built an empire that would have been untouchable if all of them joined forces. Especially because Irv had visions when it came to, him trying to do movies and TV too. Like it would have been amazing. It would have been amazing. And from the same borough at that. They all from Queens. So yeah, that's what we're hearing, you guys. Again, this is from All Hip Hop. I just wanted to pretty much put it out there. I don't know if I would necessarily talk about it anymore, because I really don't like talking about this stuff, you guys. Like, passing is just a very rough topic for me, especially when people pass so young. It's kind of hard for me to process, if I, can't even lie to you guys. But I just felt like I needed to bring it to you guys for those who may not be aware, but they are saying that he did pass away. RIP to him, to his brother. And again, the crazy part about it is his legacy. He has a legacy, but his legacy was never the same after that trial. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a big trial that he had to go through, because I think they charged him with, conspiracy and racketeering, a couple of things that they charged him with, trying to say that he was connected money-wise, I think, to Supreme, if I'm not mistaken. And he sat up there and fought the case, and he won. He did win a federal case where there's a 98% conviction rate. They actually won it, but he was never the same again. It was like he even said people stayed away from him and just kind of didn't want anything to do with him at that point. And so he had to try to rebuild, and it was never the same again. And once Ashanti left and then Lloyd left, it wasn't the same. And I'm sure that probably took a toll on his health too, which is why he kind of lashed out the way that he did, unfortunately. But yeah, it's devastating to hear, especially at a very young age. So if that is the case, RIP to him. Now, with that being said, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Let's talk about what the initial video was about. Let me take a sip of strawberry lemonade, shall I? Yeah. Yes, definitely RIP to him, Trina. Now, what did I say? For those who listened to my video about the scammies, and I said, very interesting with all of this stuff going on about Jay-Z and how he's been trying to accuse this attorney, Tony Buzbee, of all of this stuff, but not really saying if he did it, if he didn't do it. And then next thing you know, he got the workhorse of all workhorses, Beyonce, doing this halftime football show, to doing, a tour again, to all of a sudden the Grammys, she gets country album of the year, she gets album of the year. Damn it, a lot of people are saying, what the hell is going on here? So many people are saying she didn't deserve those awards. I said, in my opinion, somebody bought them awards. In my opinion, allegedly bought them awards. And I got people who agree with me, and I got mixed reviews. And I said, I feel like all of this stuff is coming out, and they are trying to get all of this good publicity. So then that way, whatever is coming up, the good publicity can outshine what's coming out. Okay. Now, I don't think this is going to be the biggity bang situation that just recently came out today or literally yesterday. I feel like something else is going to come out, but quite interesting enough, Mr. Jay-Z, remember earlier this year, and I think I said that on that video earlier this year, he actually was suing, if I'm not mistaken, Tony Buzbee. He was trying to sanction him and take him like through the ringer, and to the point where the last time I spoke about this, hey Yazzie, how are you? The reason why I did a question mark is because all hip hop and other sources are saying he has passed. I don't know yet, but considering the fact that those sources have said it, and they're typically reliable sources, and some of the reliable sources on YouTube are talking about it, that's why I'm saying that it's, and the family just hasn't been able to process it yet, because allegedly it happened this morning. Now, I don't know if because apparently they said he was on life support yesterday. They talked about how he was on life support, but they're saying that today they officially declared him unalive. I don't know if that still means he's on life support and they haven't decided to pull the plug yet, or they have, but I don't know. My guess, because of the sources that are coming out, and these are just not like random people, these are people who have been known to have reliable sources. My guess is it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. At 54 years old. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give my condolences and just kind of talk about who he was as a producer, some of the negative stuff he's done, but overall, the man definitely, he made some good music. He was the producer of all of that stuff when it came to Ja Rule and Ashanti, and they had it on lock. So, definitely good. There are definitely good things to remember about Irv, even with the bad stuff that kind of came out recently. So yeah, and make sure you hit the like button. If you have subscribed, Yazzie, make sure you subscribe. So yeah. Now I said this. I literally said this. I said they're doing all of this because something big probably is gonna happen. That was just my gut feeling. But interesting enough, literally Jay-Z's attorney, okay, the same attorney that claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy are not friends, okay? Yeah, the same one who said they're not friends and they're just, they go to the same functions because they're in the same industry, but they don't really kick it like that. Well, that sanction and the complaints that they were doing all on Buzbee, and remember the judge even told Spiro, the attorney, he needed to kind of tread lightly with how he's coming at Buzbee. Well, baby, February 4th, yesterday, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, wrote to the judge, Judge Torres, the one who told him to kind of tread lightly with how he's coming at the attorney, Buzbee. He informed Judge Torres that he was withdrawing his complaint against Buzbee. Withdrawing it. Y'all don't find that interesting? He withdrew it. Now, interesting enough, at least when I was doing my research on this information, you don't have a lot of big publications that are posting about this. The only one I could find was Newsweek. Everybody else who was talking about this was on YouTube, which is why I truly do feel that YouTube is the future when it comes to real news and content, because it seems like a lot of these print publications got people in their back pocket, allegedly, maybe. But Newsweek, from what I saw, was the only one talking about this. Okay. And so at that point, this is the same Tony Buzbee who has all of his cases on, with Diddy, but he's also the one that has that girl who alleged she was 13 years old when she got SA'd. Spiro filed this complaint and pretty much said that the attorney, which was Buzbee, he claims that he did not do his due diligence in vetting pretty much this client, and how for the most part saying that since he didn't do what he needed to do and he properly didn't, get the information that he was supposed to get there, and this was personal attacks and all of this stuff, they were trying to do a sanction. But if I'm not mistaken, a sanction can mess with someone's license. Okay. And so they were trying to come at him. And remember, I said, why can't he just say he didn't do this, but he's so busy trying to shut down Tony Buzbee credibility? Well, what do y'all think? Why would Jay-Z all of a sudden say we're going to withdraw the allegations, all of the allegations that they put on this man about this case and all of this other stuff, and they was filing cases against him? They have now said, nope, that's okay. That's all right. We good. Why do y'all think that happened? Y'all let me know. And interesting enough, the same week that the tour was announced and the Grammys happened, I told y'all something was coming, and I still don't think this is the big thing that's coming, but something was coming where he wanted the buzz about her to be louder than him. Interesting. Now, remember in December, the judge refused to dismiss this lawsuit that this 13-year-old and Tony Buzbee has put on Jay-Z. So that means this is actually going to go down. It seems like it. It is going to go down. It is going to happen. But I just find it so interesting that he did all of that rah-rah about how he was going to let people know who he was, who Tony Buzbee was, and that he was fraudulent and he was trying to, get money from him and all of this stuff. And there was lawsuit after lawsuit, complaint after complaint, allegation after allegation, and now you're taking it back? Huh? Does that make sense to y'all? I say no. It don't make a freaking damn sense to me. So the question is, why he backing up? Why is he backing up now? Maybe Buzbee has put something out there or let the attorney know he got some real legitimate stuff on him. And now he trying to stay quiet. So in the letter, Judge Torres, Spiro explains that he is writing on the behalf of defendant Sean Carter to respectfully request that Mr. Carter's motion for sanctions pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 11 be withdrawn at this time without prejudice. And they said without prejudice means that Carter's legal team reserves the right to file a new complaint against Buzbee if required. But why would you remove it? Remember, this man is the villain. This man is the villain. He has literally accused you of something that you claim is asinine and can't be done. Hey, Mia, I'm talking about Jay-Z's attorney dropping his sanctions and allegations and civil suits, I guess they would call them civil suits, against Tony Buzbee. We have discussed this matter with counsel for plaintiff, who consents to this submission and agrees the withdrawal is without prejudice, Spiro wrote. And so what happens next? They're saying Buzbee and his legal team will be seeking disclosure of Jay-Z's movements around the time of a video music award after party in 2000, when the plaintiff alleged she was SA'd. So Jay-Z is continuing with an extortion lawsuit against Buzbee he has filed in California. So I guess he's still going to continue with that, but he's dropping the sanctions. To me, I don't know, because sanctions means that if I win this, you can get your license removed. But at the same time, if I win the extortion one, your license can also be jeopardized. So baby, let me tell you something. Something is not feeling right here. And I told y'all, and trust and believe it is going to be big publicity right now with everything Carter, from Beyonce to Blue, so they can get the heat off of him. But baby, I don't think this is, look, there's too many people who have reliable sources. If I'm not mistaken, even some of the top YouTubers who always get the scoop on stuff first, they are also suggesting that possibly something is coming down with J to the Z. And to me, that's the way he's moving right now. That's the way he's moving. I said that. I said it's too much of this going on. Yes. Hey, Teef. It's too much of this going on. It's too much. And everybody and their mama. I saw, and again, there's one thing about when I post videos in the algorithm, what happens is there's other people's videos who are talking about the same topic. Do y'all know how many videos popped up that was all saying the same thing, that they felt like them freaking awards was bought? And they said something ain't right with this. And I said, well, yeah, hey, I ain't the only one who thinking something popped off in that. Yes, very much so. And again, the family has not said anything, Teef. The family has not. But there's a lot of reliable sources that are saying it happened. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. But one thing about it, man, like I said, the ink, when they was popping, those was my college days, baby. So please believe me, that was a time. Like I told y'all in my that's so crazy. I was talking about that in my last video, or in the scammy video. I said Ashanti was in heavy rotation for me during that time. Ashanti and A. Marie. Please, black and brown men, stay on top. Stay on top. Yeah, here's the thing, Mia. Here's the problem. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, every time we blink at this point, something is coming out about them. And I talk about a little bit of everything, but I'm not a political channel. At this point, I don't really know what to say when every single hour, every time I blink, there's something coming out. So I talk about the things that, one, I'm a black woman, things that are in my culture, but I also, you know what I'm saying? I'll talk about the politics stuff, but right now there's so much stuff coming out, I can't keep up. So I'm waiting to hopefully things will kind of calm down. Yes, baby, 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 baby. I'm telling you, he was a great producer. That's one thing I will say. He was a great producer. You know, so he definitely did his thing. He definitely did his thing. On the personal side, though, he wasn't. I didn't like him, but on the personal side, he wasn't the best. But that music side, he was great. But yeah, so literally, yeah. And just based off of his looks, like right here, I'm just like, Jay-Z, I don't know. It's no worries. No worries. That's the thing. I appreciate the fact that you can agree to disagree and just come back to another video. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We're not here to agree with everything that is being said, but this is my opinion on the situation. Something is coming down when it comes to Jay-Z, and I do believe Beyonce will be involved. In my opinion, the only way that she will not be involved is if he decides to protect her or she get her daddy involved. You know what I'm saying? The daddy probably may get involved. That's when she'll call her daddy. So at the end of the day, though, I want to know why in the hell did he say up just a month ago he was about to go after Tony Buzbee with these sanctions and then said no. It has to be something. It literally has to be something that is coming and is coming down. Hey, Rachel. Yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I think too. Now, when I feel like King Combs, when y'all, okay, that's fine. I mean, look, that's fine. At the end of the day, for y'all, especially y'all Beyonce and Jay-Z fans, this may not be the video for y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the view. Y'all can come back another day. So that's fine. But I'm gonna talk about it because again, this man was rah about how he was coming after this attorney, and this attorney was allegedly blackmailing him. Now he is dropping one of the biggest freaking cases that he had against him, the lawsuit he had against him that he just filed, I think like a month ago. That's weird. And the same week that all of this went down, the same week of the tour announcement, the same week of the Grammys. That ain't no damn coincidence. It's not. Well, guess what, Teeth? This is not the time to troll about your so-called witchy mother, allegedly, and your witchy father, okay? No one cares at this point. I am about good versus evil. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care what color they are. At the end of the day, you ain't gonna be able to convince me that this man, with all of the access that he had with Diddy and all of that stuff that is going on with Diddy, that there is no way in hell he didn't at least know about it. Thank you, Rachel. Super Bowl. Totally forgetting about the Super Bowl. Totally forgetting about the Super Bowl. Totally. So he probably thought he can slide that in here. No, it's not. Yeah, we it's not. He trolling right now, y'all. He is the troll with the wrench. That's what it is. There are some evils that are not necessary, especially when you allegedly doing your own people dirty. That is an unnecessary evil, in my opinion. But yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, absolutely. Super Bowl Sunday, something is going down. Something is going down. And he thought that with the people, with the actual news people, the magazines and stuff that he has connections with or whatever, since they possibly wasn't going to post it, that no one was going to talk about it. But again, YouTube is like the new media, and people started grabbing onto it left and right. Like, what the hell is going on? And literally, I said, let me see if at least one major magazine or news channel was talking about this. Baby, when I checked this out, all I could find was Newsweek. I said, interesting. But my social media get oversaturated with all of these Beyonce posts from all of these outlets literally after the Grammys. But there's only one outlet allegedly talking about how he removed that sanction from Tony Buzbee, even though his rah-rah about how he was going to fight on this attorney and show who he really is. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll tell you this. I'm going to sip on my tea or my wine, and I'm going to wait and see what's really going down. Because, again, Jay-Z is not stupid. He's not stupid. And there's a reason why this is really silent. I'm sure at this point, he doesn't like the YouTubers grabbing onto this stuff and being able to talk about it left and right. Yeah, I don't think he likes that. So I said, because I literally said this week, why is all of this stuff coming out at once? He got Beyonce out in the forefront, trying to create, in my opinion, some type of distraction. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. And like you said, Rachel, thank you. Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, another distraction. Another distraction. So at this point, I think this is going to be the discovery process with this lawsuit. Now, Tony Buzbee and his team are going to have to come with all of the information in regards to this essay. And from my understanding, based off of what Tisa Tales did, she did a very thorough background on this girl as far as what year she possibly could be saying. I think allegedly they found the house that she described. And allegedly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they said that it was confirmed, I think, that the party was there. And the actual big, was it Jumbotron that they were talking about that was in front of the VMAs? And the attorney was trying to claim, Jay-Z's attorney was trying to claim there was no big Jumbotron in front of the VMAs that year. But allegedly that year, 3 blocks or something like that away, there was a Jumbotron, big TV actually showing the VMAs. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. And at the end of the day, I know there are plenty of Jay-Z and Beyonce fans out there, but let's be clear, we don't know them. We don't know none of these people. And like I told y'all, I want all evil to be exposed. I don't care what race, I don't care what gender, I don't care what creed, I don't care. I want it all to be exposed. And if any of the allegations are true, and if more allegations come out and we find out they're true, and people start speaking up, it may be just as grimy, if not more grimy than Diddy. Like, seriously. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button. And yes, connect with me on IG for updates. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe here. But yeah, you guys, I would definitely like to know what you guys think, okay, about this situation. And why would Jay-Z's attorney say, you know what, never mind. We're not gonna go after that. We're not gonna go after Tony Buzbee. And Tony Buzbee is on his IG page, cool as a cucumber. He cool as a cucumber. He posted recently about Diddy, but other than that, he's posting family pictures, being a Texan boy, riding on horses. He seemed like he unbothered, very unbothered. And this man, he even, you guys remember the submarine that ended up what's the proper word? I don't even know if I could say it without getting flagged. The submarine that literally went down not too long ago, maybe like a year or two ago. From my understanding, he is actually representing one of the family members, one of the guys who was in that submarine. So he's known for taking these type of difficult cases that seem to be impossible to actually win. Like I told you guys. Now, again, we still don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see. But it's very hard for me to believe that this man would take on cases like this, knowing the type of following and cult-like following that Diddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce have, to take these type of cases on and you have no proof, just to ruin your credibility as an attorney, and you've been an attorney for years. I just don't see it happening, because if he does not execute this correctly, I would say it'd be safe to say that his career could be over and done. So there has to be something there. And I think more than anything at this point, Jay-Z and his attorney know. And maybe they're just trying to find a more strategic way, I don't know, to maybe try to be in a positive light. So if it comes down, he doesn't look as bad. I don't know. I mean, he's always going to have those fans that don't care what he does. They're going to think that the man is trying to take him down. They're going to think that he didn't do it. You still have people who are Diddy fans with everything that's coming out about Diddy, even after that Cassie video, who are still saying that Diddy didn't do it. And they're going to be a fan forever. So Jay-Z gonna have those type of people too. So it is what it is. But yeah, I found that interesting. I said, like I said, and I'm gonna stay 10 toes down. Like I said in the Scammy video, baby, there is a reason for all of this. That man is a masterful chess player. He is trying to always think 10 steps ahead. And I feel like he knew all of this stuff, putting Beyonce out there, was going to hopefully cause a distraction to keep people off of him. But baby, it don't seem like Tony Buzbee is going to get off of his ass. And that's just what it is. So I hope Jay-Z prepared for it. I hope he is. So with that being said, and I'm sure I'm going to get the comments. And guess what I'm also going to do? I'm going to do a block party. You know what I'm saying? The stands come and the stands can go. Because at the end of the day, what do I say in the beginning of my videos? Hey, what's up and hello? This is D. Chris Nicole, bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. That's it. That's all. And again, you don't have to agree. But at the same time, that is the beauty of having my channel and voicing my opinion on things that are going on in this world. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Child, I had to end it with Tony Buzbee. Now, apparently, look, I will have to see, sir. I'm just going to tell you, Tony Buzbee, before I get off, you better have your ducks in a row. Every T crossed, every I dotted, because if you don't, yeah, your 30 plus career, I think will be non-existent at that point. With that being said, you guys, love you guys so much. See you on my next video. Toodles.